I'm delighted now to be joined live on the radio by award-winning Tracy at Coterie Leather. A very good morning to you.
Hi.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, Coterie. So
Coterie.
yeah, we tend to say Coterie in this country, but yeah, it's derives from a French word, so it's Coterie. Yeah.
Ah, well, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us here, and congratulations on this Countryside Alliance Award. They're a bit of a big deal, aren't they?
Yeah, so they sort of promote all things rural and the rural way of life. So yeah, it's I think they had 40,000 nominations for these awards. So yeah, and it's all across the UK. So yeah, it was bigger than I thought it was going to be, actually. Yeah.
And you are a winner. For those who might not know anything about Coterie Leather, who are you and what do you do?
So I'm based in Llanhadden, just outside Narberth. I've got a studio right behind me here. So you can come and make things out of leather. I run workshops in all sorts of things leather. So you can make a pair of shoes, a leather belt, apron, clutch, handbag, all sorts of things, knife sheath. And I've got into leather through a very sort of sustainable route. I trained as a furniture designer, and I actually use waste leather, and that's how I sort of got started in my leather working journey.
And why? Why did you just see some leather on the floor and think, I could probably do something with that?
Well, I was really lucky. I got a job the week I graduated when I did my degree up in London, and I worked as a product developer for a big furniture company. And just found that leather was really, upholstery is really, really wasteful, the whole furniture design sort of process. So I was coming home with bin bags full of leather and just started turning into bits and pieces. And it sort of snowballed from there, really. Moved back to Pembrokeshire, had to sort of think of a business to run because I didn't want to work for anybody else. And that was back in 2007. And that's how it all got started, really, sort of turning what is a waste material into luxury leather goods.
Wow, and luxury really is the key word. I'm just on your website now, coterieleather.co.uk. Some of the items there, and the bags in particular, they're stunning, aren't they?
Yeah, so I've been doing it sort of over 15 years now. And one of my best sellers is the vintage key bag. So it's made out of waste leather with a vintage key, and it's kind of become a signature piece. And I still get them sort of coming back to me 15 years later for a bit of refurbishment. So I have a repair for life guarantee on all my products as well. So everything from sort of sourcing the materials, making the bags through to the sort of end life is all sort of covered in our sort of sustainability policy.
Yeah, well, 15 years, that's not bad, is it? For that's even just for a repair. Leather is such a durable material, isn't it?
Yeah, if you look after it, it'll last 100 years or more. Yeah, definitely. But also the good thing about leather is that it decomposes. So unlike plastic or vinyl or all these new sort of cruelty-free vegan leathers, which are all sort of basically plastic, leather will decompose at the end of its life. So yeah, it's a byproduct and it's really sustainable. So yeah, that's the best thing about it.
I love this. And you mentioned your workshops there, but there's also something else I spotted on your website, and there's a very daring design on there. Make your own sneakers.
Yeah, so that's actually my most popular workshop. I get a lot of people coming to do that. So you can come, pick your colours. I've got all sorts of hair on hide and leather colours. So you pick your pattern. You can go for a low top, a high top, different colour laces, and go home wearing a pair of shoes that you've made in just a day, which is amazing.
That's so cool. So you turn up with nothing and you leave with a pair of trainers.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All you have to do is bring your shoe size so we can pick the right sort of soles for you and go from there. Yeah, it's amazing.
And these workshops, they take place in the workshop behind you. So for those that aren't able to watch this on the social media yet, it will be available afterwards. Your workshop behind you, it looks like a work of art itself.
Yeah, so it's sort of right next to my house. It's a purpose-built studio. It's an old dairy, so I've converted it. So yeah, it's amazing. So for years, I worked out of my garage. So to have built this, I've been here 6 years now, just outside Narberth. So yeah, it's amazing. It's all light and airy and warm. Got all my tools around me, even though I can never find anything. So yeah, it's amazing.
And this award, it was the Rural Enterprise Award at the Countryside Alliance. They've got some questions here. Is this a diverse and energetic business? Is more going on at this business than the core activities? Is this business a growing asset to its community and making a real contribution? Does this business enhance the local area? Would winning this award be a well-deserved boost and help the business to develop further for the good of the community and local economy? And is there a commitment to the future of the countryside, to jobs and to the local community? They're big questions to answer.
Yeah, and there was a lot of amazing other businesses in these awards. So it's all a lot of it is about sort of diversification. So yeah, the ingenuity behind this business was basically making something from waste. So that was the sort of thing that sort of got me sort of nominated, I guess. And it's changed so much over the years. I had to adapt loads of times, from the first sort of financial crisis in 2008 to COVID. I'd literally launched all my workshops a couple of months before COVID hit, and was completely shut down. So I didn't, at the time, didn't know whether I was going to be able to continue the business. But anyway, after COVID, people are more sort of keen than ever to come and do something with their hands. Things have changed from buying stuff to wanting to do things. So yeah, workshops are really, really popular. And that's sort of moving forward now. I'm in a little group now where we're hopefully, you can't actually tan leather in Wales. So I'm part of a group now that hopefully one day we'll be able to use the byproduct from the meat industry, which is the hides, and tan our own Welsh leather in Wales. So that's a new sort of project that I'm working on. So yeah, sort of constantly evolving and doing new things and new sort of lines to the business. So yeah, all those sort of things definitely sort of went towards this award.
That's so cool, and that was picked up actually by the person that nominated you. Almost like in a quiet corner of rural Wales, something remarkable is happening. Offcuts once destined for landfill are being transformed into elegant, durable accessories. Each product tells a story of community craftsmanship and care for the planet. And as you mentioned there, you're still looking at ways to enhance that and make it even better. And what I love about the Countryside Alliance Awards, a rural Oscar is what they're often termed at. What was the actual occasion like?
It was amazing. So first of all, we had the Welsh final, which was in the Senedd. And I really didn't even expect to win that, because there's lots of amazing businesses that do lots of things for the community and farm shops and all sorts of things. So winning at the Senedd, I was completely shocked. And then to go forward to the House of Lords, so we had the finalists from England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and I was the Welsh representative in this category. So yeah, just going to the House of Lords, so a little trip to London, and when they sort of announced the winners, they do a highly commended and a winner, and the highly commended sounded absolutely amazing. And I thought, oh, there's no way I've won, because they just sound phenomenal. And then they started talking about this little sort of business in rural West Wales. So yeah, I was completely shocked to come away with a champion of rural enterprise.
That's so great. Have you got? Is there like a little trophy?
There's a plaque which is on the wall outside the studio already. I've got two of them: the Welsh one and the UK champion.
That is so cool. And that is an open workshop. You want people to come down and actually try it for themselves, use their hands with these workshops. If someone's listening or watching this now and they're thinking, oh, I fancy making my own bag, I fancy getting some of your products, I fancy making my own trainers, how can they go and find out more about you?
So I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Coterie Leather. The website has lots of different sections on it. So you can find workshops, you can find bags for sale, all the products that I do, and everything about our sustainability policy here as well. So yeah, Instagram and Facebook are probably the best ways to follow daily what I do. So every time I make a bag, I pop it up on Instagram, and there's a link there to the website. So yeah, coterieleather.co.uk.
Amazing. And what's next for Tracy and Coterie Leather?
Oh, lots of amazing things. I've got workshops to run over the summer. I also go and run workshops in other parts of the country. So I'm off to Devon and North Wales. So I started running them remotely, as well as people coming to the workshop. And yeah, in the future, lots of plans again to diversify, like talking about this Welsh leather that we're hoping to develop. And new products as well. I'm always designing new products to use up the waste leather. So always lots and lots on the go.
Amazing. And remind us one more time of that website if you want to find out more.
CoterieLeather.co.uk.
Tracy, thank you so much for joining us on the Breakfast Show with Folly Farm this morning. Massive congratulations to you and that surprise that you almost had at the house. All was like, oh, they're talking about West Wales. It's me. And congratulations. It looks fantastic. It's Feel Good Friday, which means that the playlist is not mine. It's for you to pick a song. Have you got one in mind for us?
Yeah, at the moment, I'm loving Benson Boone and Beautiful Things. So it would be amazing to have that.
And that's what you create there on the daily. It sounds like some beautiful things in your workshop in Clowhaddon. Tracy, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, Benson Boone. That comes up next here on Pure West Radio. It's coming up to 20 minutes past 9 o'clock.
Hi, I'm Steve in Whitland, and I listen to Pure West Radio.
Friday. It's time to